What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and EA Sports just patched Madden 21 again, but this time they probably made the game a lot better. Now, this is what I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys. We've been having major issues with RPOs for a very, very long time. In EA Sports, they have that thing called Madden Voice that they opened up every now and again, and they take feedback, and then they start patching things that we are like, why are you patching that? But this is something that maybe it got through to the right person, and they looked at it and said, you know what? That doesn't make any sense that Taylor Mays is there at corner and a guy is holding him up at the line on the RPO. So look, it's not even about that. It's about the fact that if you're in man-to-man coverage, the player delays and doesn't attack it, even if you're in man-to-man on the RPO. So that's going to actually fix a lot of the things that you guys have been telling me about. And I appreciate you guys' feedback because you guys hit me up Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch, all at GmiasWorld. You guys leave the feedback. It's definitely brought to my attention from my team. Whenever it's something that has to be responded to, I will. But I appreciate all of you guys that are definitely out there giving me the feedback because I'm going to let your voices be heard. This is ridiculous, the stuff that's going on, and we have to fix it. So pretty much what's happening right now, we're going to focus defensively because at this time right now, you guys should have already been notified that Night Train Lane is getting released. So that's actually going to make it a little bit more OP for you to be able to stop the RPO because that's been a real problem with the game. So look, they also added some kind of tuning to animations with the 245. I don't typically run nickel 245, but it is a popular defense depending on how you play the game because you can shed instantly out of 245 with the right ends on the sides there. So they added additional animations to that, but that's not even anything. It's a very minor update, but it may tune other things that are going on within the game that we have not seen yet. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be getting tweets and all kind of stuff that's going to be going on about the game still being broken. But if this part works, it eliminates a very huge gimmick play. Now, if you guys have been watching competitive Madden, you would have seen a specific competitor run gimmick plays, get dominated, and then get called out by the commentators for the way he got blown out. But I'm going to tell you this right now, regardless of that situation, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, more than likely, he'll be gone as soon as Night Train Lane is released. All right? It's not something personal. Maybe I could try to squeeze him in and like leave him there someplace, but because of the 49er theme team, I don't have a lot of leeway with the way that I can actually do certain things. So somebody has to go. All right? So he's probably going to be gone. And getting players that are stronger out there, you're going to have more of a, it's going to be more likely that you're going to be able to stop the RPOs. Now, look, does this completely eliminate the RPO? No. If you don't play the right coverage, you're still going to get dominated. All right. But now when you're in man-to-man, that player, if he's free, he will not just freeze anymore. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've got a guy that came out running RPOs and your guy just stood there and you're in man-to-man coverage and he froze, type 1 so we can know what's going on. Like, it's really crazy out here in these streets, bro. It's a savage situation that's happening, and people need to understand a couple things. This is pretty much, it's not about the strength of the players. It's more or less a situation where people have to understand it was a concept that was broken. Now, Richard Sherman is one of the stronger corners in the game at 77 strength. It didn't really matter if he was over there in the area. He just wouldn't react. So the strength doesn't matter because you were just getting frozen. Now you may be able to get away with utilizing Richard Sherman in a slot situation, maybe running zone, running different things like that. You may get away with that now. All right, for those of you guys that are like, yo, he's 92 speed, Gmia, he's garbage. You're probably right, dude. Like, you are probably right, but regardless of whatever the situation is, EA has probably made it so that we don't have to worry about that. So what's going to happen now is all those guys that are running trips tight end, they're running a lot of weird things. What's going to happen is this, very simply put. You're going to have more of an advantage defensively on who you can put out on the field. Not that Richard Sherman's going to play. Look, don't get it twisted. This dude is garbage, bruh. He's not touching the field. But in certain cases, if you got him in zone and you run like, dollar or, dime 146, he's a great corner to have out there just underneath in the purple or whatever, because he's going to roam the field with that 96 zone coverage, and he's 6'3", so he'll go and pick it. But playing him outside or in the slot in man-to-man coverage, you're going to get dominated, and that's just pretty much what it is. But again, he doesn't meet the man coverage threshold, so it's not a big deal. The reason that I'm pointing out all this stuff to you guys is to make you understand. We are going to be able to have a field day right now because we can now get more, we can get more freaky deaky with this whole situation. We can now, with the adjustments that we're going to make, if it's true that they react to RPOs, that eliminates the whole situation of having to pass commit. You see what I'm saying? Like, if they just play their man, which is the way it's supposed to be, like, you shouldn't have to pass commit if your player's in man-to-man coverage and the guy that's going to get the ball is manned up. He should be running towards him. It's similar to like going back years. Even right now in Madden, many people don't run it. That two-back play where the guy motions out and then he goes to the side and he gets two blockers. If he's manned up, EA has had problems dealing with this before the RPO. It's the same conceptual defect that's in the game. They don't follow the player. Because if they followed the player, that play that I'm talking about out of the two-back, and many of you guys know, the Madden veterans definitely know, it was a very, very huge, widely used play, gimmick play that you couldn't stop. Because as soon as the guy motioned, regardless of what you were doing, if the guy was manned up, they would not go after him. So what we're going to do right now, probably during the Twitch stream and also on GmiasWorld Gaming, we're going to test out, what is actually working, what's not working, and then we're going to be able to figure out if anything really makes sense as far as the reaction time. Now, Deion Sanders, I'm not changing what I told you guys I was going to do. Deion Sanders is still probably going to play safety. Taylor Mays is going to play corner. And then we're going to probably have, well, not probably, more than likely, Night Train Lane will be the other corner that's going to start for the squad. So DRC is going to be gone regardless. And it has nothing to do with the fact that, we don't like DRC. DRC is a very, very good card, but he's going to become outdated once Night Train comes out, because everybody knows once Night Train is released, he's going to play better than every other corner until the next corner is released. And that's just how they do it. So what are we going to do about the rest of the team? Look, we can add other players in secondary positions. I just want to explain some stuff to you guys real quick. For those of you guys that are having issues with the 49er theme team, we do have spaces that we can add other players into and increase the amount of 49ers to kind of make it so that we add certain skill positions. We got to make sure, though, that we just understand this fact, right? A lot of the other 49ers, like Dre Bly, we still have him. That dude is garbage. If you were to go ahead and replace him, replace Denzel Ward with a guy like that, and you needed for a play to run man coverage, you probably would get burnt deep if you had that guy, Dre Bly, out there. Just to give you guys some insight into that. I don't want to make it a situation where you guys think that you can just put anybody out there. Now, Dre Bly has decent numbers, all right? It's not like he doesn't. His man coverage is going to be up there because he gets +5, so it's like 94. These players are going to be able to play the RPO regardless, all right? Regardless of the theme team that you have, the numbers that you're looking for is a 90 threshold, okay? If you don't have a 90 threshold on the player, I'm not sure about the reaction, because that's another thing that you guys have to understand. EA Sports has made certain things very, very important with the way that it works out. Like on the field, when you play somebody that's running that trips tight end, and remember, it's a specific RPO, not just any RPO. We're not going to the wide outside receiver. We're going to the inside guy on the trips. That was an unstoppable RPO. It's pretty much a gimmick play that even if you had it manned up, it's still open. You're going to need players that have high man coverage to get the proper reaction, all right? If you don't, you're going to get dominated. Now, also with that, does that mean that you're going to get better sheds? I don't know yet. We're going to figure it out together. I'm going to put Taylor Mays out there, and we're going to go to work, and we're going to see. Because another way to stop it before they updated it was to hard flat it and pass commit. That was the way that you stopped it before. The problem with doing that is that now you have to worry about the deep pass over the top. Because when you add another player into it, a cover 2 blue on that same side where you hard flat it, you can still streak it, and the guy will be wide open if you didn't want, if the player didn't run the RPO. So you have to be very, very careful with that thought process. All right. So look, defensively right now, we're going to leave everybody the same for the squad. We're not going to change anything, and we're going to see how it works. If EA Sports actually came through with a solid patch, I'm going to let you guys know. And then once we get Night Train on and we raid sell Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, we're going to still leave Taylor Mays at corner. I want to make sure you guys get this through your heads, right? Taylor Mays, he is super strong, and he has a very, very good block shed. So if they continue to tune the game properly, McLaurin will not be able to hold him up. Look at his strength. The same strength as Richard Sherman. The problem that people don't understand is that he also has an 80 block shed. That's next level tier action right there. So he is definitely going to be a guy that can go out there and hold down that side of the field. So that's something that you really need to pay attention to. That's why I showed you Richard Sherman, so that I could kind of let you guys see at the end. The strength factor, does it really matter? I don't know, because, Richard Sherman will still get held up by McLaurin. But ultimately, right here with this guy with his 95 speed and his 93 zone coverage, he's fine to play over there. So let's see how they tuned it, but I believe that now, at least knowing that the man coverage will react to the RPO, that will lessen the amount of people that can actually do what they're doing. Because now we have a way where it logically reacts, and if you have the right skilled player, it should be good to go. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is what I always ask you guys to do. Go out there, let me know if this is real. Let me know if EA Sports has actually patched something and it works, and then I'll let you guys know too. By the time we go get through it, I'm going to try it out as well, and then we'll figure it out together where we're going to go as far as, you know, how we're going to be able to maneuver this situation. Does the man-to-man coverage work? Can we run zone? Now it's time to experiment with EA's new title update. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. Continue to have a good day. Be safe. Until next time. One love, y'all.